got the NWANERI possibly being the new number 10. Merino, green light. Smith Rowe, medical as well. So quite a lot for us to get through. And I'm going to start with the Merino green light because supposedly Mikel Merino has decided he wants to come to Arsenal, which is fantastic news for us. I feel like Merino is going to be perfect in that number 8 role. There is a lot of players trying to be in the number 8. You've got NWANERI's, you've got Smith Rowe's who's leaving now. You've got quite a lot of options there for Arteta. It's Lewis Skelly. I'm really excited to see how Arteta is going to use Lewis Skelly because I think Lewis Skelly is a fantastic player. And he needs to not play left back. I don't want to see Lewis Skelly playing left back. I do feel like it's wasted for him to play there. But it is what it is. Mikel Arteta clearly sees him as better to play in that inverted left back role, which is a shame because I feel like more of his qualities is better suited in the midfield. So I hope we'll see Lewis Skelly in the midfield. We'll see NWANERI. I think one thing I want to know is where NWANERI can play because there's one thing with him playing in the centre mid role, but I also think he can do really well on the right wing as well. So maybe Mikel Arteta will try him out on the right. But yeah, I feel like he's pretty good in number 8 role. He's shown what he's worth. So it's going to be interesting to see full time if NWANERI can have some minutes on the right wing because I feel like he could be a pretty decent Saka, rotation option as well as being a good Odegaard, number 8 backup. But of course, is he ready for the number 10? That's my big question. There's been a lot of talk about who should be the next number 10. Should it be NWANERI? I feel like it's too early if we give NWANERI the number 10, to be honest. I feel like we don't want to give too much pressure to the lad because he is a top player. And I feel like if you're giving too much, pressure to someone so young, it can really ruin, how they come out in the future. So it'll be interesting to see who takes that number 10. I wouldn't give it to anyone personally. Maybe a new signing, maybe Odegaard can take the number 10. But for me, keep it vacant because I feel like these shirts come with a lot of expectations. You look at Eddie Nketiah being the number 14. Things hasn't worked out for him being the number 14, which is a massive shame. So I feel like we've got to leave the numbers to the side for a little bit. And then as we grow as a team, as the players get better, we can start dishing out these number 10s, number 14s, because it is a heavy weight on the shoulder. Of course, yeah, Smith Rowe's medical as well to Fulham. It is a shame. I've always been a massive fan of Smith Rowe. He has a lot of potential and it's just a shame that it didn't really work out. And it was quite strange for me to see Smith Rowe go because Mikel Arteta would always talk about, he's been really good in training, he's been really impressive, but then he wouldn't play minutes. I think I can only off the top of my head remember Crystal Palace at home, Luton at home as well as games in which Smith Rowe played in, which is a shame because he's a talented player. I feel like we're losing something with no Smith Rowe. We don't have a ball carrier in the midfield. We've got Declan Rice. NWANERI is pretty good at carrying the ball. Lewis Skelly as well, but they're still young. I don't feel like the pressure, is going to be, they'll be able to deal with the pressure so soon. Welcome in, Isaac. Yes, we will miss me. Pardon, I don't quite get that, but welcome into the stream. But yeah, I feel like Smith Rowe, it is really sad to see him go like this. He's been, him and Saka from the start were the players who really started the rebuild with Arteta, really got us to where we are now. I feel like if Smith Rowe didn't come into the side, we could have really, gotten ourselves in a really sticky situation. I feel like we were in a relegation battle at the time that Smith Rowe was in. Welcome in, Jerry Ayefia. Yeah, we would miss him for sure. Yeah, Smith Rowe is going to be missed. He has a lot of quality, a lot on the ball quality. But I feel like one of the things Arteta didn't like was the off the ball quality. I don't think he pressed well enough. I don't feel like his positioning was good enough. But I was disappointed we didn't get to see Smith Rowe play on the left wing or, on the right wing. I feel like he could have been really good out wide, And hopefully, yeah, the grass will be greener for him on the other side. I do feel like it can be. I feel like Marco Silva, the way Fulham play, he'll be linking up with Alex Iwobi as well. That's going to be an exciting team to watch. And I feel like Fulham will become my second team for sure. They've got a lot of quality ballers over there. And I feel like it's the right place for Smith Rowe to go. I thought Crystal Palace as well could have been a nice opportunity for him there with, working under Glasner. I feel like that could have been a fantastic opportunity. But it is what it is. Staying in London was always his priority. And I guess we got to just move on, to be honest. We can't always keep the players that we love. And of course, the Merino green light. Let's get on to that. Obviously, Merino is someone we've been chasing for a really long time now in the window. So I'm interested to see how that will happen, if it will happen. 25 million is being branded about for him, which is not a lot of money, to be honest, for an experienced player. He can play in the 8 role. He can do really well in a double pivot as well. He gives us so much variety and option in that midfield, because I feel like last season we certainly did miss a player that can kind of do everything in the midfield, can build up play, can, attack the box. He's a box threat as well. He gives so much. Welcome in, Jerry FO said, please, I'm writing from Delta State, Nigeria. Any info on Victor Gyökeres? I will get on to Victor Gyökeres, but yes, Merino, it'll be interesting to see the bid that goes in, if a bid is going to go in, because he seems to prioritize us over Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, which is quite big for us, that we can have players want to come. That's the same with Calafiori. He really wanted to come to the club and no one else stood a chance. Apparently Real Madrid even wanted Calafiori, but Mikel Arteta, kind of got Calafiori to want to come to us, which is massive, and we're seeing that with Merino as well, and I feel like that's going to be really smart business. NWANERI can develop, and he can then also be, the sort of backup to Merino as he develops. But yeah, let's go on to Victor Gyökeres. To be honest, I don't believe any of the links with Victor Gyökeres. I feel like he's a decent player. I get why a lot of fans will like him, but for me, I've never been his biggest fan. I don't know if you guys agree. In the comments, let me know. Are you a fan of Gyökeres? I feel like I need him to have a lot more seasons at the biggest leagues. The Sporting Lisbon is, of course, a massive club. He performed in the European leagues, but I still don't really rate him as high as other fans rate him. I feel like he can be a goal threat. He's really good ball striking. He's strong. He's quick. But can he be the number 9 for years to come? He's 26. I'm not sure, and maybe I'm just being a bit too strict, but I don't feel Victor Gyökeres is the answer. I'd rather give Havertz the opportunity, or get someone like an Evan Ferguson, who I rate really highly, who's really young, can work under Havertz and Jesus, who are our striker options. I feel like that's better than a 26-year-old Victor Gyökeres who's only had 1 season in the biggest leagues. I feel like it's a massive risk there. But maybe I'm the one that's wrong, but I do feel like it's not the best idea to go in for someone like Victor Gyökeres. And I don't even want a striker this window. I'd rather get a Nico Williams, a Pedro Neto, someone who can play out wide. I don't know if I'm missing any other players, but we definitely need players who can play out wide, because I don't feel like a number 9 is really what we need in this moment of time. I feel like that time will come next season after we assess how Havertz is doing, and I feel like that's the better way for us to go. You're absolutely right. If Mikel Merino wants to come, that's good. Yes, Mikel Merino is going to be fantastic if he comes. But yeah, on that Victor Gyökeres point, I don't feel in this moment of time he's exactly what we need there. I feel like a winger is a dying need for us right now. Someone who can work as a Saka backup, someone who can play on the left wing. But I'm really excited with the way Martinelli has come back from, the Copa America. I feel like he's been absolutely incredible, and I see the energy, I see his mentality. It just looks absolutely right for this moment in time. And I feel like we're going to be, not talking too much about Nico Williams when we've got someone like Martinelli, somebody who's really quick, somebody who's good finisher as well. That is going to be so big for us next season. I'm really excited to see the way that Martinelli is going to play next season, because I feel like he can be a big player for us. And I've got an early prediction here that I feel like he's going to score more goals than Bukayo Saka next season. And I know that's a massive thing to say, but I feel like he's hungry now. He wants to be in the box. He knows how to finish. He's had, that little bit of a break on the bench there for Brazil. He's going to come back really well, and it's going to be massive for us. David Kalani says, "Hey bro, I'm a big fan. I love listening to your analysis about Arsenal players. I will miss Smith Rowe." Yes, thank you so much for the support. And yes, Smith Rowe is going to be a massive miss, but it was necessary, definitely. I feel like we needed to get rid of him because we were going to start having a bloated squad. And another thing that people don't get is that football is a business as well. You can't just keep all your best players. The Cronkies wanted to see that we were profiting off those players we weren't using. Because if you're a big football club and you're seeing players who are worth a lot of money sitting on the bench week in, week out, you don't want these assets on the bench for too long. I get it from that sort of standpoint as well. If you can profit from them, you can then reinvest in players who are going to be crucial for us. And I think that's what Mikel Arteta is doing now. And it will be really interesting to see where that money is going to be used. I think it's going to be used straight on Merino. But it's going to be an exciting end to the transfer window as well, because market opportunities seems to be the way that Arsenal are going. Bro, the number 10 will be too big for him right now. I definitely agree. The number 10... is going to be too big for NWANERI right now, but he is a quality player. I think in 5-6 years after he's been with this squad, we can definitely entertain those number 10 conversations. But for now, definitely not. I don't feel like we should give him that number 10. I definitely agree with you. Joseph Emmanuel says, Mikel Merino will be perfect replacement for Xhaka. That is what I have been saying for sure. We need that sort of player who can do all the things that Granit Xhaka could do. Good on the ball, can get in advanced areas. You know, he's got the composure. He's really good on the turn as well. Really good in the duels as well, which Mikel Arteta really wants. And I feel like we're going to be so happy with Mikel Merino. I see a lot of Arsenal fans disappointed with him, and I'm just getting surprised. He really is a top player. He wouldn't have been called up for Spain, counted on, you know, with Spain, if he wasn't a good player. Thank you for the subscription, Kwame. But if he wasn't a good player, he wouldn't be at our squad. And I feel like we've got to give Mikel Merino the chance if he does come, because I do feel like he's the quality player we definitely need. But yeah, as I was saying, it's going to be interesting how this transfer window is going to end for us. There's going to be so much, you know, market opportunities, deals we can do. And it's just about spending the right money. We don't want to overspend on players that may not be in the long-term project. But at the same time, we don't want to keep getting these young players now. I feel like the times have gone. We've got Calafiori 22, Saliba under 23, Gabriel is now 25, 26. I feel like Ben White is around that age as well. We need players now in the 28 or 29 sort of age range. I don't know if you guys agree. Do you still think we need to get younger players right now? I don't know. I feel like we definitely need to go for the older guys with experience, winning trophies. And I get why, you know, we're getting links towards the Leroy Sané's, I guess, because they have this experience, they know how to win, and that's probably what Mikel Arteta needs right now. Opeyemi Isaac says, make we see Nketiah too. Nketiah, that's another big thing, to be honest. I'm not sure what's happening with him. Marseille want him. Does he want to go to Marseille? Apparently he does. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Eddie Nketiah. £50 million. I don't see any club spending that much money on him. It's going to be quite interesting to see if any club does. But if Marseille do, I feel like that's fantastic business for all parties. I do feel like Eddie Nketiah is someone our fans, you know, kind of attack too much. I feel like he's a quality player and we kind of diss him a bit too much. I feel like he's got the quality to become a really, really big player in the future. 30 million euros is enough for him. Yes, I do feel like 35 to 40 million is a good fee for Eddie Nketiah. Or if you're talking about Smith Rowe, I feel like the fee is definitely right for him as well. But it's good to see we're getting pure profit after our youngsters, you know. We need to start getting money from the youngsters. Otherwise, you know, it's just horrible. We need to start making good money from sales. I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was our record signing for 30 million. And that happened, what? 8 years ago. That's not good enough for a club of our size. Welcome Gunnar in my heart. Sell Zinchenko. Borg, Calafiori and Timber can invert as good as he can and is better defensively. Yeah, that's my big thing as well. Zinchenko, Kivior. What's going to happen with them? I'm really, really intrigued with the Zinchenko and the Kivior thing because we've got a lot of defenders. If I can just name them, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. That's a lot of players. I don't think we have enough room for both Zinchenko and Kivior. One of them has to go. For me, it would be Kivior. I feel like, again, Zinchenko is another player who we do criticize a bit too much. You guys have got to remember how good he was 2 seasons ago when we were struggling, brought him and Jesus in. We needed someone like Zinchenko, quality on the ball, and he provided that. And it's been tough for him. He's lost a bit of his energy. A lot of his, you know, physical presence has been lost as well. But we've got to keep with him. He's still very useful in some certain games. So I definitely still keep Zinchenko and sell Kivior. Opemi Isaac says, even Reece Nelson. That's another big thing for me. Reece Nelson, is he going to go? I feel like we definitely needs to go. And apparently what people have been saying is Reece Nelson has been one person who doesn't want to leave. He's sort of comfortable staying in London, sitting on the bench. He's happy to accept that role. And on one hand, great. On the other hand, you know, we can't have valuable assets just sitting on the bench, sitting on wages. If we can get a good profit from him, I'll be delighted. Apparently West Ham are interested in him. Leicester are interested in him as well. I feel like those will be, you know, 2 really, really good moves for him. And I hope he makes the decision to, you know, come off the bench and go somewhere where he's going to play minutes. Because I feel like Nelson has this potential which needs to, you know, be fulfilled. Kiwior looked good against Manchester United when he was brung for Durian. Yes, he definitely was really, really good when he came on against Manchester United. I feel like he was comfortable on the ball, and I know I look at really small details, but in the announcement video, Kiwior looked delighted. You know, it's the small things. I also looked at Timber's face as well. He looked like he was ready for the competition. If you watch back that announcement video of Calafiori, look at Timber's face. It's absolutely incredible to see, and I don't want to delve too much into it, but it looks like the face of someone like, I'm ready to have this competition with you and fight for places. This is what he wanted. You know, a competitive squad is a fantastic squad. Oh, David Kalani, I missed that. I believe if we can sign Merino with Calafiori, I think we're going to go unbeaten next season because the level we are is exceptional. Because I'm always happy seeing our players so good under Mikel. I definitely agree. I feel like we can definitely go up multiple levels with Merino and Calafiori. I feel like last season could have been an unbeaten season. I've always said this because I feel like if Partey could have just stayed fit for just even more than half of this season, most of those games which we lost, we could have definitely turned them into draws or wins. Partey adds something different to the squad, and I feel like if he was fit, we could have had a really special season. I would prefer a loan move for Kiwior. Yes, but I feel like he wants to go somewhere where he's guaranteed a lot of game time week in, week out. I don't think he wants this sort of loan move with not a lot of security for him, because at the end of the day, he's a first team player and he wants to be playing a lot of minutes. So I don't really want to give him that lack of security with a loan move. I'd rather he go for permanent move, and then we kind of get money for him, a profit on him, and we can reinvest that in the squad. Gonna in my heart says buy Ousmane Diamonde for our defense, sell Zinchenko and Kiwior, starting defense Calafiori, Gabriel, White, backups Timber, Haven, Ousmane Diamonde and Tomiyasu. I've always been a big fan of Diamonde, but I feel like that's going to be an overload on the squad. That's my biggest issue. If we're going to keep on buying these defenders, we've got to get rid of, you know, the Tomiyasus. The Aiden Haven is a fantastic player, by the way. I feel like he's going to need under 21 minutes this season, then a loan next season. He is a quality player. So I hope that's what's going to happen with him. But it's good to see him out there impressing in the USA. I'm a big fan of him. But yeah, definitely Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and White is a very strong, you know, back four. Thank you, John Kennedy, for the subscription. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the family. But yes, definitely I think that back four is really strong. Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and White. And you still got Timber on the bench. You still got Tomiyasu. You still got, you know, Zinchenko as well in certain games. We're just going to look so strong at the back. And I'm just so excited for next season already. I just want to see how we're playing. I want the first game of the season right now. I want to see how we're going to perform. Because I feel like we're going to put a show on for everyone. And my kind of, you know, big prediction is we're going to have a big lead over City heading into Christmas. I think we're going to have a 8 to 10 points lead going into Christmas, and that's where we're going to really have to keep consistent. And I do feel like we can be unbeaten in the first half of the season for sure. Definitely. I feel like if we get Merino, we get that, you know, winger that can play on both sides, there is no reason at all we can't go the first half of the season unbeaten minimum. This is the Premier League. You'll have off days, you'll get beaten. But for that first half of the season, we should be aiming to be unbeaten. We were so close to doing it, you know, 2 seasons ago. I see no reason under Mikel Arteta why we can't do that. I think we're at phase 4 now. We're so close to the completion of this project where we're going to be winning trophy after trophy after trophy, and it's just exciting times for us Arsenal fans. I'm just so delighted with the way the club has been going. Gunnar in my heart again says sign Desire Douar. Again, I've named him the next Neymar, but I do feel like he's going to be off to PSG or Bayern. Quality player, of course, working under Thierry Henry. Maybe we can get Thierry Henry to give us give him a word of Arsenal in his ear, because I do feel like he's a fantastic player. Can definitely be that Smith Rowe, you know, replacement, as you like to call it, although I feel like NWANERI can be that, but he can definitely be that replacement, quote unquote, and it will be interesting to see where he ends up, because I feel like Desire Douar is a top player. Guys, make sure you have liked the stream. There's quite a lot of you in here, but make sure you have. It does really help me out, and if you have subscribed, thank you very much. And the final thing I think I want to talk about before I do end off the stream is Gibbs White. big news has come out today. Apparently, we are interested in Gibbs White to be that Smith Rowe replacement. And it's quite interesting because Smith Rowe was actually ahead of Gibbs White in the England setup. So to see us now replace Smith Rowe with Gibbs White is going to be really interesting. But I've always been a big fan of Gibbs White. Really good on the ball. Really energetic, really good defensively as well. Good age as well, 23, 24. Good mentality. Ticks all the boxes of an Arteta player. But is he good enough? Is he happy to come in and be a squad player? I'm not sure. But definitely, I feel like it's going to be interesting to see if we do get an out-and-out Smith Rowe replacement, or we're just going to be happy to, you know, stick with what we've got next season. But yeah, it definitely is going to be massive. Thank you, HD Games, for the subscription. And Gunnar in my heart again says, do you think Merino and Rice could play in a double pivot? Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of us don't see the shape we do defensively. It is a 4-4-2. Merino and Rice sit in the double pivot. The wingers come really deep, almost play like wing backs. And then you've just got that lovely, you know, back four spread across there. Saliba, White, Gabriel, left back Calafiori. It's going to be really nice to see. I'm definitely going to make videos on our shape for the first game of the season because it's really intriguing how we play in and out of possession. And Crown Prince Joseph Emmanuel says, how about Bukayo Saka's replacement? Yeah, I did talk about him. I feel like his replacement is really important next season. I definitely feel like we could get someone like, I don't know, Nico Williams, a Pedro Neto. There's options out there, and it'll be interesting to see how high of a priority a Saka backup is. And David Kalani says, can't wait for next season, bro. Yeah, next season, I am so excited. I can't wait. And I feel like we can do really big things. We should be going for all 4 of those trophies. Carabao, FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. Put all our eggs in that one basket. I do not mind at all. Go for it. This is our big season. Aim for the quadruple. Then slowly you can start ticking off if you're not getting those, you know, trophies. But anyway, Gunners, that's where I'm going to end it for now. Hope you have enjoyed the live stream. Hopefully I'll do many more in the future. And until next time, Gunners, thank you very much and peace.